It's 2020 and this year I am committing to getting a period back. Just a disclaimer, if anyone gets triggered by numbers or talking about body image and weight and stuff like that, please don't watch this. But this isn't meant to be negative at all. What I'm trying to say is it's important to be healthy and to love yourself, and also to accept yourself at its healthiest size and how it looks, and just how you feel is so much more important. So it's been a little while since I've done a bit of a recovery type of video. It was time to do another one because I kind of stopped making recovery video styles. I didn't really stop making them. I just felt like I didn't need to. I was doing pretty well. The last time I made one, what was it? So if you've watched some of my videos in the past, you will have known that I struggled with an eating disorder and having anorexia and just being really in a negative mindset with training and food. I've made quite a few recovery videos, and especially as an athlete and trying to come back to my sport after my body going through those things. And the last few I've made, I've kind of been in a much better place, and I had reached certain goals that I needed to get to be healthy. Not fully healthy, like I never got a period back, but I reached a weight that my coach wanted me to be at before I could train and compete, and that weight was basically the minimum weight that I feel healthy at, that I start to actually do well at training at. For me, the weight I am when I am the minimum I can be to be healthy is around like 52 kilos, 53 kilos, and my coach wanted me to get there before I was like full-time training. When I say full-time training, I don't mean like that is my career. I just mean I'm doing like full training load with track and gym stuff, and before I can compete and stuff like that. So I got to that weight, but weight fluctuates each day obviously. I hit like 53 once, and like I had a lot to drink and eat. I've noticed sometimes people say things like, I gained a kilo, I feel so bad. It's just like, a kilo is like drinking a liter of water, which I literally do every morning. So your body fluctuates a few kilos each day. That's completely normal. So I tried to weigh myself first thing when I got it. I started to get to the weight I needed to be healthy for me. And when I say to be healthy, I mean the weight where I feel like I have energy. I feel like I can go to training and do well at training and improve from that. And so I got to that weight. I was doing well at training, but I didn't maintain that weight. Like I got to the weight so I was allowed to train, do all my training. And then when I got to that weight, I was like, okay, I don't need to focus so much on eating heaps now and making sure I push myself through like a negative mindset, or to have a bit more extra, because that's what I had to do because I had to gain weight. And so I just didn't think about it too much. And because I was so used to eating so little before I had worked hard to gain weight, and I was training more as well, I just didn't maintain the weight that I had reached. And when I dropped below like that 52 kilo mark, I'm sick. Like I'm not healthy. Like I don't even get a period at 52 kilos. However, I did start to get signs of a period when I was around that weight, which I did make a video on. But I stopped getting signs of a period and I started to break down more. At training, I just felt really weak and I just struggled. The last few weeks, I haven't felt the best because I didn't consciously try to lose weight. I just didn't consciously try to maintain weight. And if I don't consciously try to maintain weight, because of my past with, you know, losing so much weight and having a really negative mindset around food and exercise, I just easily will drop weight. And because I have grown when I was eating extra to get to a good weight for me, I'm now 172 centimeters tall, so 52 kilos is really little still. Basically, the last few weeks I was feeling pretty shit, and at training I couldn't get through sessions because I felt so weak and shaky, and I just knew I wasn't at a healthy weight for me anymore. And I also noticed I started to look a lot thinner and leaner again. Not that I wasn't lean at a healthy weight, but I just mean like too lean. I also noticed I started to feel more like depressed, more negative mentally as well as physically, because of just my body being starved and falling into those bad mindsets again where I'm like, oh, I can't eat at this time, or I shouldn't eat, stuff like that. Just the the bad mindset. And I did notice when I had gained weight, even when I was a bit uncomfortable with how my body was changing, I did mentally feel better. Like my mood had improved and I just felt happier. Your body is smart and it all works as one, and there's so many things that go into your mentality, and obviously there's hormones, but obviously just your mindset. And when I was doing the right thing by my body and for myself, I was mentally feeling happier and better. And physically, like I had started to slowly make improvements again to get back to where I was at training. When I say back to where I was, I mean pre-unhealthy days. Anyway, so when I started feeling pretty bad again and running not the greatest, me and my coach just decided I would stop competing until I was physically and mentally ready, which I knew and I know relied and relies on me being a healthy weight, like consistently, not for just like a day, and getting a period back and just maintaining health, not putting my body through periods of restricting. Anyway, so I over the last few days got pretty sick, which did not help my case. It was like, I don't know what I had, but my parents think it was a migraine because they have so many other side effects, which the main thing I was experiencing besides feeling like passing out was intense nausea for like 2 days. So I barely could eat, and that did not help my case. And then I got worse and dropped under 50, and I just felt so depressed, and I was like, I just feel unhealthy, and like trying to look lean doesn't make me happy. It might feel safe to me, but it's not helping my life or my happiness. And I just, the last few days I've literally just been like, it's a new decade. I am not spending any more time at war with myself or in this, like I'm not doing this again, or underweight or unhealthy or going through phases where I fall into a bad mindset. I can't do it anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth my youth. It's not worth my life. It's not worth the gift. The last 2 weeks over Christmas, we had our squad went on Christmas break, which is basically when we don't meet as a squad, but everyone trains individually. And my coach messaged me asking how training was going. And I told her that like I was getting my sessions done, but I literally was struggling so much and I felt so bad and I hadn't maintained weight. And she said how many times we're gonna have to have this conversation, like you can't hit 53 once, you have to maintain it. Like that's the lowest you can be to be healthy. You can't just hit it one day and then drop back down. And she said you're too fatigued and tired way too often, and it's definitely not normal. I basically decided it's a new decade, it's a new year. I'm getting my period back this year. I'm having a healthy relationship, not just this year, but from this year on. I'm not doing it again. I've wasted enough time, you know, hurting myself and being unhealthy and not getting anywhere or anything out of it. And it's time to change, basically. And I've said it's time to change before, and I have worked on changing, but it's something that you can't just work on and get and be fine. You have to always keep working on it. And I don't know if that's forever, but for now at least it definitely is, because if I don't remind myself what is really important, which is like my health, being happy, being healthy, being able to train, I easily fall back into the being this super tiny person. And I researched this a lot. I know the science behind this. I know physically what's right and wrong for my body, and still mentally there's like a block sometimes where my mind is like, no, you shouldn't eat, when I know I really should and I really need to. I just wanted to make this video because it's just a reminder that it's so important to listen to your body and truly listen to your body. Like when it's hungry, eat. When it's feeling like passing out and feeling tired, then you're not going to get anything out of training and you need a rest. And I used to not be able to take a few days off training because I would hate myself and feel so bad about it. But the last few days I've just been like, I messaged my coach and I was like, I need to have a few days off. I need to get to a healthy weight and I'm not going to get anything out of this. What my coach always says, we always say there's no point flogging a dead horse. So if you rock up to training really, really sick, or for me, the amount of times I've rocked up to training under-fueled, body breaking down, getting nothing out of training because I feel like passing out, my coach is like, there's no point flogging a dead horse. You get nothing out of it. If anything, it probably stresses out your adrenal system and all your stress hormones and makes you worse. It just means your recovery is going to be longer and harder. I literally have just been like, stuff it. this is one of the first times I've been the one to instigate. Like, before, if my coach said you need time off training, I'd be like, okay, my coach told me that. But now I was like, I know I need that. I don't need to keep waiting until someone's like, you look like you're about to die, you need a break. I can listen to my body myself. And I literally said to my coach, I need to just like not come to training this week. I feel like passing out most days. I can't do that to myself anymore. I just want to be healthy. And she just said, have the week off and come back when you weigh 52 kilos. It's easier said than done, obviously, but I'm just going to literally do the right thing by my body, which means eating and not stressing out about it, not stressing out about my body. Everyone's bodies are so different. The thing that I get the most like self-conscious about for me is like my stomach and being like shredded and lean. But honestly, for me, when I'm healthy, I have always had lean legs, lean arms, but my stomach wasn't the leanest. I know I'm hard on myself. Someone else might be watching this thinking, girl, you have a lean stomach. But personally to me, I just felt disgusted and I never felt lean in that area until I was extremely underweight and under fat. So I had a body fat percent way too low. Like, you have to realize everyone's body works completely differently. Someone can be a much higher body fat percent than, for example, myself, but still have more defined abs, and that's just because that's how their body stores its fat. That's just how they distribute their fat, and that's completely fine. And that's something that I've just had to learn to accept and be okay with, instead of being like, I only like my stomach like this, so I have to be unhealthy always. Like, no, I can't be unhealthy anymore. I can't do that anymore. And if I don't like how my stomach looks not looking like that, I'm just going to have to change what I like and learn to love it when it's healthy. Obviously, I'm like a thin person. I've always been an athlete and I'm lean, I don't know, compared to an average person. But that's just something I've definitely had to learn. Find the things you love about yourself, but also you love yourself enough to care about it, to nourish it, and not be so hard on it and just caring about what it looks like. It's 2020 and this year I am committing to getting a period back. That's going to mean not training on days I feel terrible and maintaining a healthy weight, putting on a few kilos to be a weight that's healthy for me, and maintaining that weight, not going through phases where I feel negative or I don't work on eating enough, and not dropping weight, which I find hard, but I'm going to do that because I want to be healthy again. I want to be able to start actually like getting something out of all the hard work I put into training. And I'm only going to get something out of all that work if I'm fueling my body, because if I'm not, my body's just going to be breaking itself down to fuel itself at the same time, and I will get nothing out of it. It'll be a waste. I'm blessed. Life is beautiful and it's to be enjoyed and not to be at war with yourself. So this year I'm getting a period back and I'm just going to be healthy. And yeah, I'm sorry that this video was a little bit messy and unplanned. I have too much that I want to say. I could talk for days, but please love yourself and look after yourself. Your health and happiness is literally all that matters, like at the end of the day. When you die one day, if you had spent all of your life at war with yourself, hating yourself, starving yourself, and being depressed because of it, because let's be real, you can't really have an eating disorder without being depressed or being in this negative mindset without feeling negative emotions, because you're not happy when you're like that. Don't waste any more time of your life. It's a new decade. It's time to change. It's time to be healthy. It's time to love yourself and do the right thing by your body. So I'm going to finish this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. I will let you know when I get a period back, which is going to be soon. Keep fighting and doing the right thing. So don't give up, and thank you again.